Pray for peace in the Middle East. God bless.
Some performances are born out of necessity. In Rwanda, we met an artist making his voice heard while amplifying the story of others.
So I say loud, I'm African and I'm proud. I'm African and I'm proud.
How about I teach you how to spell my city? K to the kid soldiers, aka Kadagos, who carry the K's heavy and then the weight. I to Izamarere, who chose to die rather than stand by and watch the so-called unite to decimate. G to the jam that this land of Gustavo is, it's really worth killing and dying for, literally. A to the Agachiro creed, the essence of life and survival, not greed. L to the light that you cast upon your dark past may never shine too bright to blind your own sight. I to the infinite wisdom and intelligence of the unity of the past, guiding my rhymes from the other side. Name is Eric, one key, I'm a voice, and this is my Africa.
When in all businesses, war is the most lucrative.
A name has like to be from here and there. I was like, you know what? I don't know where it came from. I cannot, to be honest, I don't know what this. It's like writing poetry. It's like you just don't know where things come from, but you just find a way to put them together, you know? And so like one key, yeah. Sounds good, and then you can do a lot with it.
Save me from my dark, save me from the dark. This world is full of lies, my shining star.
A hip-hop poet, a spoken word artist, a blogger, and an advocate of the city's nascent music scene. One Key is opening all kinds of creative doors.
The kind of poetry I write, I wouldn't be able to actually describe it because it depends. I can write about this moment like right now, you know. Okay, basically I write about life and death and everything in between. Poetry is so depressing. People just want to dance. You don't need to sing, even one word does it. But there are certain things that I focus on, you know. Let's say socio-economical issues, social issues, the question of who I am, where do I come from. These are the questions that actually come back in many of my pieces, you know. Pray for the dead, pray for the sun, pray for the rain, pray for the sun. Pray for peace in the Middle East. God bless America. God bless the Queen. Always compare your life to the worst. Like, many will kill for what you got. Be grateful. You got food. Your country is peaceful.
A multilingual artist living in a multilingual city. Eric performs in English, French, and a variety of African dialects. His love of languages started at a young age.
I grew up in DRC. I spent the first 12 years of my life in the DRC. And so we used to speak Swahili outside when I'll be outside playing with kids. But when I go back into my home, we're speaking Rwandan. Yeah, grew up listening to Tupac, Biggie, all this music, and I wanted to know what are these guys talking about. And so my interest in learning English wasn't just about the language, but about what is in the music. What does Michael Jackson sing about, you know? And so with time I got to learn, and I loved it. It was beautiful, it was good. And then with time I was like, you know what, so what is rhyming exactly? Stand upright. Even your worst misery, wear a smile. Rejoice always.
Today, Eric has hundreds of poems to his name and has branched out into hip-hop. His debut album, Entree 2, is about losing and then finding one's identity. Turns out performance wasn't always in the plans.
The building you see behind me is where I used to work in advertising. Actually, it's one of the biggest advertising agencies in the country. Yeah, it was pretty cool, it was very nice. So I would work, but in the same time, I would feel like in between my briefs, I used to steal some time to write a poem, for example. And then I started doing my shows. So the more I was doing my shows, I realized I was actually stealing time from my work. Yet, you know, I felt like it wasn't quite fair. I wasn't giving him my all at the same time.
Emancipate yourself from mental slavery. Emancipate yourself from mental slavery. Emancipate yourself from mental slavery.
And so with time, I was like, this is really some capitalistic shit that I'm not really interested into. Because for me, my poetry is about helping people, you know, find your potential. I mean, I want to learn with you. Let's dive in there, let's go there, let's find this, let's switch this. Like, I want to go to secondary education, talk to kids about writing poetry and tell them you can say anything, you can be anything, you can find your power and freedom. My color is white. Never on a single occasion has it been blue. I speak like Bazungu, my brain rises on Caucasian 1.2. See, I've been trained to think like them, imitate them, and excelling means I emulate them. See, it's not selling out. Have you never heard about the benefits of being colonized? Check this out.
Leaving behind the safety and security of his 9-to-5 freed Eric up to focus on his craft full time.
It's funny that people are more scared about my life than I'm actually. You know, Eric, what are you gonna do? What if your son falls sick? What if you need this? Where are you gonna get the money? You know the truth, you know the reality in this country. You cannot, you need a source of income. I'm like, this is gonna be my source of income. I'm gonna make you eat this till you Check this out. You can tell from my accent that I'm 100% sure that I'm one of the 1%. I'm not scared now. I mean, dude, like I grew up, I was poor. We used to eat like maybe once in 2 days, you know? So hunger is not a big deal to me, or you know, sickness. I've been through all that. There's nothing that you can bring to me, you can throw at me that I cannot, you know, take at this point. I feel much. It's an honor to have your poem written on one of the walls in the city.
Inspiring others to follow their own path is a responsibility he takes seriously. He sees himself as a creative cipher.
Kids are just learning how to, you know, trying to draw, trying to open their creative mind, get them to think outside the box, all these little things that we never got a chance to do when we were young. Yeah. Because, you know, there's a stigma towards creativity in the sense that people don't think it's something that needs to be done, that's important in life. And so we have to go through the basics, the ABC, this is why it's needed, it's gonna take a long time, but when these kids are maybe in the 20s, people will have gotten it, you know.
This thirst for artistry and creativity is born out of tragedy. A tragedy that's still felt by Eric and all Rwandans.
The genocide has had an impact on everything, absolutely everything. Like, think about it, all the great artists that we killed in the genocide, you know. All the books that were burned, you know, all the art crafts, art pieces that were destroyed. I mean, now the impact that it has today is that as an artist, like, I touch some subjects that people don't touch because people still live in that fear that what if I say this and then it has an impact on this, and then, you know, that fear of if I do, something might happen, because you don't have that trust that you can speak and be heard. And that's what I tell people, like artists especially, just speak your mind. We have to work, man. We have to push it. We have to find it. It's in there. It's somewhere hidden. I didn't know I had all these things. When I find that treasure, I'm going to have to share it with people. And maybe it will inspire them to go and find it as well, you know?
Take me to the roots of my family tree. Lead me to the truth and set me free.